In a quiet mountain village lived an old man named Devappa, aged 82. He had silver hair, slow steps, and a smile that never faded from his face. To everyone else, he was just an old man. But Devappa held inside him something no one knew, an unfinished dream that had slept inside his heart for 50 years. Every morning at 5 a.m., Devappa walked to the old hill near his house. He looked at the sunrise with a strange longing. People would ask, "Why do you climb this hill every day, Ajja? You're too old for this." He would smile and reply, "Because the sun rises only once each day, and I want to greet it." But no one knew why that hill meant so much to him.
When Devappa was young, he had a dream. He wanted to build a small school on that very hill, a place where poor children could study freely. He worked hard for many years, collecting bricks and wood. He even started building the first room. But then life changed. His father fell sick. His family needed him. The money he saved had to be spent. The little school he began remained an unfinished, broken dream. Time moved forward. Life demanded more. And so, Devappa abandoned his dream, but he never forgot it. One day during his morning walk, Devappa saw a young boy named Manu, about 10 years old, sitting under a tree with a torn school bag. The old man asked, "Why aren't you in school?" "I want to study," Manu replied, "but we don't have money for books, so I sit here and listen from far away." His voice cracked, just like Devappa's heart. That night, the old man couldn't sleep. The dream he buried years ago suddenly knocked again. The next morning, Devappa walked to the abandoned structure he once built as a young man. The stones were old, grass had grown everywhere, and the roof was half broken. Anyone else would have seen ruins, but Devappa saw hope. At 82, he picked up a shovel again. He began cleaning the weeds, lifting stones, and repairing the walls. Villagers laughed at him. "Ajja, what are you doing at this age? You can't even walk fast. Schools need money, not dreams." But he said only one thing. "This dream waited 50 years. I will not let it die again." Every day he worked a little. Some days he could lift bricks. On other days he could only sit and arrange small stones. But he never stopped. The children watched him. At first they were amused. Then they became curious. Finally, they became inspired. Little Manu came to help him daily. Together, a boy with torn books and an old man with tired hands began building a future. After months of seeing the old man's determination, one villager joined, then another, and another. The laughter stopped. Respect began. People brought wood, nails, paint, cement. Carpenters offered help. Young men came to dig the land. Old women cooked food for workers. What began as one old man's impossible task became the village's pride. A year later, the school was complete. Fresh paint, clean benches, bright windows. A name board outside. Devappa Free Learning School for every child with a dream. On the opening day, hundreds gathered. Devappa walked slowly to the podium, tears in his eyes. He said, "For 50 years I believed the world had forgotten my dream. But today I learned something. A dream never dies. We only stop chasing it." The entire village clapped. Children smiled with hope. Manu held Devappa's hand tightly. Months later, Devappa sat at the window of his house, watching children enter the school he built. Manu came running to him. Ajja, the new students are here. Will you teach today? Devappa smiled. I will, but slowly, my child. That evening, the sun set beautifully. The next morning, the village found Devappa sitting peacefully on his chair, his eyes closed, his face calm. He had passed away, but not with regret. He died after completing the dream he held for 50 long years. On his table was a handwritten note. It is never too late to start again. My friends, Devappa started again at 82. People doubted him, but he chose to believe. So remember, your dream is still alive. Start again, even today, even now.